I'm Alexandra and welcome back to my channel. Today is an exciting day. Okay, so basically today I will be rating the books that appeared on the Reader's Pick, their 100 best books of the 21st century. And I decided to start by number 100 because why not? I'm just gonna go through them all and tell you if I've read them and if I have read them, if I like them or not. So we're starting strong because number 100 is A Man Named Ovi by Frederick Backman, and I absolutely hated that book. Basically there were whole paragraphs that were repeating themselves. It just didn't work for me. So basically you're following this old man as he goes through life, and apparently it's all sad and cute and all of that, but did not like it. The writing was so bad, and I'm not sure if it's because it's translated. Maybe it is, but I've read translated books that are not that bad. It was just not good, but I still have the book on my shelf. I've tried many other books by Frederick Backman, but this has to be my least favorite one. It was just not it, but it was super popular. There's a movie. I haven't seen the movie, but like, yeah, for me, not worth it. Then number 99 we have Empire of Pain by Patrick Radden Keefe. I haven't read this. Then 98 we have Shugi Bane by Douglas Stewart. I haven't read that. We have My Year of Rest and Relaxation at number 97 by Otessa Moshfegh. I haven't read that. But then we have The Vanishing Half by Brit Bennett. I have read this one, absolutely love it. I think it was powerful and enjoyed the story. The writing was good too, and also the book is beautiful. I put it here, but like a beautiful book, and yeah, really enjoyed that one. But the most exciting one is the next one. Then at number 95 we have A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. Absolutely love that book. If you have never read any book by this writer, you should. The writing is beautiful. I mean, you're gonna be shocked and you're gonna feel a lot of things, and just absolutely beautiful. I know some people are saying that this book is very long. It is, but absolutely beautiful. I think it's worth it, and I would have loved to see it higher on the list. It's at number 95, but you know. Number 94 we have The Bee Sting by Paul Murray. I haven't read that. Then 93 we have Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. Absolutely hated that book. I listened to it as an audiobook and I couldn't wait for it to be over. Not for me at all. It's very popular, but I don't get it. Then we have Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead by Olga Tokarczuk. I haven't read this. Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I haven't read this. And The Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado. I haven't read this. The Glass Castle by Janet Walls. No. The Plot Against America by Philip Roth. No. Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo. No. Life of P by Jan Martel. I have read this, I believe, when I was way younger, because Jan Martel is from where I am from, so you know, read that, but I don't really remember much, so I don't know if it's worth it, honestly. Then we have When Breath Becomes Air by Paul Kalanithi. I believe I have listened to this as an audiobook, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a doctor who was diagnosed with cancer, and he tells his story, if I'm not mistaken. But if it's not When Breath Becomes Air, it's another book by this writer, so you know. But if it's this one, I loved it. I think it was very sad, but also you learn a lot. Then we have 10th of December by George Saunders. No, I haven't read that. Let the Great World Spin. No. Tom Lake by Anne Patchett. No, I've seen this many times in the last couple of weeks, and I'm not sure if it's worth it. We'll see, but I'm planning to read it. Then we have at number 81 The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks by Rebecca Skloot. No. Deacon King Kong by James McBride. No. 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami. No. Kafka on the Shore by the same writer. No. Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari at number 77. Read this, absolutely love it. You learn a lot in this book. So basically you learn about humankind in the many years we've been alive, and it's, yeah, if you like history and learning things about science, I would recommend it. It's a great non-fiction book. Then Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson. I haven't read that. The Lincoln Highway by Amor Towles. Don't know how to pronounce that. I haven't read that. And this is funny because at number 74 we have a book that I just finished. It's Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. I'll link my vlog I just did on it. Absolutely hated that book. Just not worth it. But if you're more interested in a deeper like review of it, just go and check my vlog. The review is at the end of the vlog, so yeah, not for me. Then we have Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows by J.K. Rowling. For me, like, I absolutely love the Harry Potter world. I don't like the writer though, so I don't talk a lot about Harry Potter, but it's a big part of my teenage years and everything. It's also the first, well, I mean, not the book, but the first movie I watched in English basically, so you know, I love Harry Potter. There's nothing else to say. Then we have Crying in H Mark by Michelle Zauner. I know. Sing Unburied Sing by Jasmine Ward. No. Know My Name by Chanel Miller. I haven't read that, but I've seen that quite a lot. Killers of the Flower Moon by David Gran. I haven't read that. I haven't seen the movie either. I want to see it, so you know. Anyway, The Devil in the White City by Eric Larson. No. Piranesi by Susanna Clark. I haven't read that, but I've seen a lot of good reviews, so maybe one day. Then we have Just Kids by Patti Smith. No. Evicted by Matthew Desmond. No. 2666 by Roberto Bolaño. No. The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. No. The Sympathizer by Viet Thanh Nguyen. No. Northwoods by Daniel Mason. No. The Dutch House by Anne Patchett. No. Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens at number 59. I have read this, absolutely loved it. I know some people think it's boring, but if you like good writing, this is a book you should read. I think it was very nice. I've read this a couple of years ago. I haven't seen the movie, but I remember absolutely loving that book, so I think it's worth it. Then we have White Teeth by Zadie Smith. No. Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan. No, but I've recently read a book by Claire Keegan that I found okay, so maybe I could read this. Then we have The Hunger Games by Susan Collins. I read the first Hunger Games when I was a teenager and remember not liking it. Anyway, I just got from the library the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and I'm planning to read that, so we'll see. But The Hunger Games, I feel like it has made it into this because it's been such a popular book, but I don't think it's worth it that much. It's rare I'm gonna say this, but save time and just watch the movie instead. Okay, at number 55 we have Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. I haven't read that. 11/22/63 by Stephen King. No. I've read a couple of Stephen King and just not for me, you know. Then we have Trust by Hernan Diaz. No. The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. This has to be one of my favorite books by Kristen Hanna. Also one of the first books I've read by her. Absolutely love it, but at the same time, if you're tired of reading World War II fiction, don't read it. It's about World War II, but I think it was done beautifully. I always love Kristen Hanna like writings and story building and the characters, so you know, absolutely amazing. I think it should be higher on this list, but that's how it is. Then we have Cast by Isabel Wilkinson. No. James by Percival Everett. Listen to me, I started this book because it's been nominated for the Booker Prize, and I've read like 4 pages and I just couldn't do it. The writing was like, I mean, it's not the writing, it's the way people talk in this book. I just couldn't do it. I didn't want to spend the time to understand what it was, so didn't finish that book. I mean, I barely started it, so it's not even a did not finish, it just never started. Then we have Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, and I know I've seen people say amazing reviews about this book, but I've read this book after watching the movie, and I thought it was boring, but I've already watched the movie, so you know, I don't know, maybe if you haven't watched the movie, this is a good book. I'm not sure, so I have no opinion on this one. And then we have number 48, On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. I haven't read that. Then we have Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis. Listen, the story was, it was a good idea. So basically you follow this woman who works in chemistry, and I don't know what time it was, but you know, in the 20th century, so it wasn't that, I mean, women in science weren't that big in that time. So the idea behind it was good, but no, it just didn't work for me, sadly. It's sad because I wanted to love that book, and I love seeing women in science, but it just didn't work. Then we have The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller at number 46, and again, they didn't work for me. I tried, okay. It's a retelling of Greek gods, but like, it just didn't work for me. There's nothing else to say. Then we have There by Tommy Orange. I haven't read that, but I'm currently reading Wandering Stars by the same writer, and it's not working for me either, so I don't think I will read There. No, I don't like his writing. Anyway, so that was number 45. Then we have The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store by James McBride. I haven't read that. Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates. I haven't read that. Then we have The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde by Junot Diaz. I haven't read that. Life After Life by Kate Atkinson. No. The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. Again, I love this writer, absolutely love it. I think the subjects he writes about are very sad, but it's well done. I think The Kite Runner is better than A Thousand Splendid Suns, just in terms of how the story goes, and it makes sense that it's higher on the list because, yeah, it's just better. The writing is beautiful. If you've never read Khaled Hosseini, honestly, you're missing a lot. But yeah, that was number 40. So then we have Olive Kitteridge by Elizabeth Strout. I haven't read that. The Great Believers by Rebecca Mackay. No. The Nickel Boys at number 37 by Colson Whitehead. I have read this. I have enjoyed it. I think the writing is beautiful. Again, you'll see when I love a book, most of the time it's because the writing was beautiful, because it's the main thing I look for into books. So I'm not, don't listen to me thinking I will like love popular books and everything, because most of the time it's not, because most of the people don't really care about the writing, but I do, so my opinion is a bit different. But The Nickel Boys deserves to be on this list. 37 is a bit high in my opinion, but it's okay. It was a good book. It was a good book. Then we have The Year of Magical Thinking by Joanne Didion. I haven't read that. The Covenant of Water by Abraham Verghese. I haven't read that, but I've heard a lot of good reviews of that book. Then we have Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell. I have read this, and I remember not liking it, so I'm surprised it's at number 34. And I've read this as part of, if I'm not mistaken, like a popular classic books you should read or something like that, because it wasn't published that long ago, but it's still, I would guess, beginning of the 21st century. But yeah, I remember not liking it, so I'm surprised it's there. But you know, I haven't read every book on this list. I haven't read every book that have been published in the 21st century, so I don't know. Then at number 33 we have The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. Absolutely love that book. I mean, it's a, what I would say, modern classic. I feel like a lot of people have read this, I read it, liked it. Also just want to say that I've read it in French, so I don't know about the English version, but it was good. It was good. Then we have Cloud Cuckoo Land by Anthony Doerr at number 32. I've read a book by him that I did not enjoy, so I never picked this one up. Then we have Circe by Madeline Miller. Again, Madeline Miller didn't work for me. I've read this book too, just didn't work, which is sad because, I mean, could be nice. Then we have A Visit from the Goon Squad by Jennifer Egan. I haven't read that. Say Nothing by Patrick Radden Keefe. No, this is the second book by him on the list. Anyway, Cutting for Stone by Abraham Verghese, also second book on that list. Oh, at number 27, there's a book I hated. It's Normal People by Sally Rooney. It became very popular and I've never understood why. The writing is bad first, so for me it's already like a red flag, just bad. Nothing happened in that story. The characters were just flat, nothing into it, so you know, I don't know why it's at number 27. It shouldn't even be on the list. Anyway, I have read nothing by her except Normal People, and I will never read anything by her. Okay, at number 26 we have The Corrections by Jonathan Franzen. I haven't read that. Gilead by Marilyn Robinson. No. Bel Canto by Anne Patchett. No. And it makes me think I should read something by Anne Patchett because obviously she's on the list. Yeah, I don't know. If you have ever read anything by Anne Patchett, where should I begin? Because I feel like maybe it's something that could work, you know. Okay, so we have The Warmth of Other Suns by Isabel Wilkinson. No. Amnet by Maggie O'Farrell. I have read a book by Maggie O'Farrell, but I don't remember what it was, but I absolutely loved it, so maybe I should try Amnet. Yeah, I think I should. That was number 22, by the way. So we have Homegoing by Ya Gyasi. No. The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay by Michael Chabon. No. Americana by Shima Manda and Ngozi Adichie. No. I think I've read another book by her. I'm not sure. Anyway. Then we have Middlesex by Jeffrey Eugenides. I don't know how to pronounce that. I haven't read that. Then at number 17 we have Atonement by Ian McEwan. I've read this. Did not enjoy it. I don't know why. Maybe I should try to read it again because I feel like it's very popular and it just didn't work for me, so I'm very confused. Anyway, then we have Lincoln and the Barbo by George Saunders. No. The Road by Cormac McCarthy. No, but I have the book, so maybe one day I'll make it there. Then we have Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel. No. At number 13 we have another Colson Whitehead book, The Underground Railroad, and clearly this was better than Nicole, what was the name of the book? Anyway, the other book. Yeah, The Underground Railroad. When there's R's in English, so hard. Railroads. I remember it being very sad, and I learned a lot of things in this because I'm Canadian, so I mean obviously I learned some about the US history, but not all, so reading more about that is interesting. So I remember it being very sad but also very powerful as a book, so I think it's worth it, yeah. Then we have The Overstory by Richard Powers. I haven't read that one, but I've read another book by Richard Powers that I absolutely loved, so I think it could be worth it because I love the writing of Richard Powers. So yeah. A Little Life by Anya Yanagyaha. I haven't read it, but so many people have read it and loved it, so I guess it's worth it. I don't know. Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. I've read another book by her and did not enjoy it, so I'm not sure about this one. Then we have Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro, and the thing is that book is very popular, but after my recent reading of another book by this writer, I'm afraid. I don't feel like I'm gonna ever pick this book up. we'll see, but yeah, I haven't read this. Then we have My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante, and I have read this book before it became very popular and did not like it. So anyway, recently I went into like trying to find more about Elena Ferrante. So we don't know who this writer is, but from what I've seen, it might be a man, and I'm always a bit skeptical about men writing with women's name. You know, it's a bit weird. Anyway, then we have another book that I did not enjoy. At number 6, we have Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. It's too long and kind of boring. I just wanted the book to finish. So yeah, not worth it in my opinion. Then we have Educated by Tara Westover at number 6. This is a nonfiction where you learn about this woman who was born into, I don't remember which religion, but anyway, she wasn't officially born because her parents never filed. She didn't go to school until she was older, but she managed to, I believe, have a PhD. So that's a nice life story. It was interesting, and you get to learn more about this writer with her life story, but also you realize that so many people are in that situation, which is kind of sad. But yeah, it was a good nonfiction book. Then at number 5, we have Pachinko by Minji Lee. I haven't read this. Then we have The Goldfinch at number 4 by Donna Tartt. Absolutely love that book. It's exactly my type of book. So good writing, not much happening in the book. You get confused at times, but I liked it. I think it's worth number 4. Then we have A Gentleman in Moscow by Amor Towles. And I read this book before, again, it became popular, and I liked it, but it wasn't amazing in my opinion. Like, I would give this like a 3 stars maybe. So I don't think it's worth number 3. It's worth reading though, but being at number 3 of the best book of the 21st century, not in my opinion. Then at number 2, a book that took me 4 times or 3 times to read. It's All the Lights We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. And how is it at number 2? There are so many books that are better than this regarding this exact subject. So basically it's World War II fiction, that I'm very confused as to why is it at number 2. I don't know. I don't think it's even worth reading, so I'm very confused. I don't know if you can see, but it's right there. It's this book. But yeah, I don't think it's worth it, so kind of sad it's at number 2. Then at number 1, we have a book that I DNF'd at like 40%. It's Damon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. And like, I put it down because it was boring. And also it's a long book, and I know I'm not the only one who did not enjoy this book. So yeah, I mean, top 3 is not, doesn't make sense to me. But again, as I said, I'm not that much into popular books because what people like is usually what I'm not impressed by. So am I surprised that I do not agree with this list? Not that much. Anyway, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon in another video. Bye!